We know that snitches get stitches. Okay, we know that Diana would have ran in that office with Barry the Gordy and would have told Barry Gordy, oh, that lady, what's her name? Mabel John, she don't like you. She don't trust you, Barry Gordy. She don't trust you. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's looky would be our fingertip rings. Ooh, I don't have my nails done, but I still think they look pretty cute. I love them. Not too many people are wearing them. This is the pearl one. Ooh, look at the middle finger. I don't have no problems with nobody. This is our bling one, and this is just our fingertip ring, plain and simple. They look good with nails on them too. I just love them. I seen Erykah Badu wear them first, and I was like, ooh, I got to get some of them, right? And then I found them, and now I am offering them to you. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Call her Miss Ross, the unauthorized biography of Diana Ross by Randy Teraboli. I don't know that man. I don't know him. When Diana left the Supremes, she went on to become a solo recording artist and a movie star, while Mary went on to try to pick up the pieces of the broken group. Florence went on welfare. Both women had their own problems and interests. But when Diana heard the news late 1974 that Florence was about to lose her house on Buena Vista Avenue in Detroit, she was genuinely shocked. She even got it from Flo that, listen, if all else fails, if I don't have nothing else, at least I'll have a place to lay my head, okay? And that's something else that Mary said that was true. So I like when the books, you know, coincide with each other and they're cohesive. You know what I'm saying? Where the stories are very similar. There may be some variations, but for the most part, the denominator remains the same. Here's how the story goes. First, before I get started, you know I don't like Florence's husband. That nigga, okay? Yes, that's the most appropriate word for him. That ninja, okay? Wasn't he Barry the Gordy's ex-chauffeur or something like that? And remember, they were pressing Flo out to not mess with him. They thought that the chauffeur of Barry Gordy wasn't good enough, but you know, cancers, they believe in love. You know, love. She went with her heart. Oh, I love him, you know, and ended up, you know, succumbing to the depths of a demon. What happened was, when Diana found out that Flo was losing her house on Buena Vista, she contacted her business office, okay, and said, hey, listen, I want you to write a check to Flo's mortgage company and pay off her house, okay? The check was sent to her husband. He said that he was suspicious of it. What are you suspicious of? She's trying to pay off Florence Ballard's house. God damn it, if somebody issued a check to my mortgage company right now and paid off my house, you think I'm gonna be like, oh, something's not right, we celebrating the whole fucking year. Mr. Chapman says, tell her to take that check back and put it in my name. But Diana didn't trust Chapman. She was uncertain about his relationship with Florence at this point and why the two separated. Rather than risk him absconding with the money, she insisted that the check be made payable to the bank holding the mortgage. Diana felt that Chapman would allow her to do this favor her way if he really had his wife's best interest at heart. When he wouldn't, and she couldn't reach Florence, the check was voided. Florence lost the house and had to move herself and her 3 young children in with one of her sisters. She received $135 every 2 weeks from welfare. It's not known whether Florence realized what Diana had tried to do. Knowing that Diana tried to save that girl house, and because her dick-sucking husband was trash, she couldn't get it done. I hope y'all feel stupid. Diana Ross is not that bad. Aries women, they about their business, but they not like, tyrants. They about their business, but they not tyrants. They got good hearts. Shit, it's just, you just gotta walk through hell to get to it, okay? Or fight the devil. If I'd known how it was going to end with Florence, maybe I would have taken more time with her, fought her more, even though she didn't want my help. So there you go. Florence did not want Diana's help. She did not want Diana Ross's help. So you mad at her? So many people mad at her over Florence, but you know them cancers can be stubborn as what's she supposed to do? Beg her to help her? No. But Joe, I don't care who it is. I ain't got time to be begging you for me to help you. Shit. There's people starving all over the world and you want me to beg you to help you? Bitch, please. If I'd known how it was going to end with Florence, maybe I would have taken more time with her, fought her more, even though she didn't want my help. Diana would later say, but she got to be a pain in the ass, and I said, oh, forget it. Maybe I should have slapped her face a few times. Mary Wilson must have known what Diana had tried to do, but she apparently decided not to write about it when she penned her memoirs in 1986. Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme. Today, after Mary's book, Ross and Wilson no longer speak to each other. They didn't speak that morning in Detroit either at Florence's funeral. Florence was always on a totally negative trip, Diana would say in an interview 4 months after her funeral. She wanted to be a victim. Then when she left the Supremes and the money stopped coming in, it really messed up her head. She was just one of those people you just had to grab and shake and yell, get your fucking life together. That's not my words. That's Diana Ross' words. In the late 50s, black music was happening in Detroit. Scores of young people hoping to make it big formed groups and rehearsed in basements, apartments, and on the street corners. They played at school dances, talent contests, and tacky nightclubs. Every day, they hung out at 2648 West Grand Boulevard, Hitsville, all the while dreaming of getting the nod and, more importantly, the contract from Berry Gordy Jr. In 1960, the Primettes, Florence Ballard, Mary Wilson, Betty McGlown, and Diana Ross were in Hitsville's waiting room for their chance to audition. Now, Flo always been a little suspicious of the Berry to Gordy. Flo just a suspicious person anyway, right? But, they all in the waiting room, the girls, the Primettes, they in the waiting room. Flo like this, I don't know why we here with this. The girl's trying to explain to her, look, this is the only train moving right now, okay? That's why we here with this ninja, right? But Flo was like, why are we even dealing with him? He be robbing his artists. Ugh.
Flo had heard stories about Gordy, and she wasn't impressed. Ain't he that guy who cheats his artists? She wanted to know, since Berry had a reputation in the neighborhood for taking financial advantage of the youngsters he signed to his label. Flo didn't think the encounter with Bateman was worth mentioning to her singing partners at the time, but now she was using it as ammunition.
Wait, this is the deal, right? The Primettes had won a talent show. At that talent show, Robert Bateman had stepped to Flo and was like, look, Flo, I work for Gordy at the Hitsville, okay? This is what I want you to do. I want you and the girls to go down there to the Hitsville, okay, and audition for Gordy. Now, Gordy is like, okay, you girls are nice and fine, while they're there, but no, okay? Come back when you grown, right? The girls had no idea that Robert Bateman had went to Flo and said, I want you to go audition for Gordy. So when Gordy told them no, answer no, hell no. Flo was like, no, Robert Bateman told me to come down here. You ain't about to tell me no. Barry was like, Robert Bateman, listen, girl, listen. I'm the one in charge, not Robert Bateman. Okay, they commenced to going back and forth, right? The girls pulled Flo out and was like, wait a minute, why you didn't tell me that Robert Bateman told us to come down here? You made it seem like we just here. I mean, I don't know, how detrimental that was to the audition, but I mean, that is something that Flo maybe should have communicated, okay? Once outside, Diana whirled to Flo's face. Why didn't you tell us what happened the day we won? She demanded. She looked as if she was going to go for Flo's throat. Diana was wiry and thin, a tomboy, if ever there was one. Tall and sassy, Flo was not easily cowed. But this time she seemed to be taken aback. I decide for the Primettes, she managed with a faint show of bravado. She looked to Murray and Betty for support. None came. Diana was infuriated. Talking to Hitsville, that's too important for you to decide for yourself. She told Florence, you should have told me about this. Why didn't you? Flo mumbled that she had forgotten. Well, don't you ever forget nothing so important again. Ever. Don't you dare ever forget. The four girls then walked back into Hitsville. They couldn't bring themselves to leave. Instead, they just sat in the reception area. Same denominator. Florence later would remember that the next day, Diana made the decision. The Primettes would go back to Hitsville every day until something happened. Just as 16-year-old Diana had vowed they would, the Primettes started haunting Hitsville. And just as Barry had promised, they were ignored. Soon, Betty McGlown decided she wanted to get married and stop singing. Diana felt that Betty was being foolish. So y'all know that I grew up in the hood, right? Not necessarily the projects, but hood adjacent. That's what I always say, right? And because we had the projects like right across the street, that would be 640, the Park Morton projects, a lot of those girls had babies, And the way that I thought about it, you gonna have a baby? How you gonna graduate high school with a baby? How you gonna do that? How you gonna have fun? How you want to go to college with a baby? How do you do that? I don't know. Back then, women were getting pregnant and married early, okay? Because, my mom had me at 15. The only reason why my mother didn't marry my father was because my grandfather passed, okay? But the two older aunts, okay, they got married and had their children, okay? They was married and pregnant by 16. Okay, so that was something that I would say was normal for that time. But me in the 80s, I'm lost. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't no baby machine. Hold on, there's a whole world out there for me. Okay, because my mama had me at 15. She was like, don't have no babies. Don't bring no babies in this house. Don't bring no babies in this house. Travel the world. Do what you want to do. That shit stuck. An argument would always ensue with Betty accusing Diana of trying to single herself out, which, of course, was exactly what she was trying to do. Still, she didn't like hearing it. So when Betty left, Diana was glad to see her go. Now, after this, they had 2 more members to come in, right? But, it was some problems. And the girls was just like, fuck it then. We're going to keep the 3. A few months later, Gordy booked studio time for blues singer Mabel John, the first female artist he had signed to the label. Background singers were needed for the session. Enter the Primettes. Let's give them a shot, Barry decided. What have we got to lose? Mabel John recalled of the session. Barry made it clear to them that this was only a test and did not mean they would be signed to the label. Diane was the leader, the in-charge, take-charge type. Mary had the better ear for harmony, but if there was any questions, it was directed to Diane. Oh, Diane was such a little flirt. So young, but so attentive to anything Barry wanted. She asked me a lot of questions about Barry, soaking up all of the information. Had the nerve to ask me, so what do you really think of him? Is he fair? Is he honest? As if I was going to tell her otherwise. She was very direct and the bottom line kind of girl. We know that snitches get stitches, okay? We know that Diana would have ran in that office with Barry to Gordy and would have told Barry Gordy, oh, that lady, what's her name? Mabel John, she don't like you. She don't trust you, Barry to Gordy. She don't trust you. Diana did everything she could to make Barry see that he had made a very serious mistake in not signing the group immediately. After the recording session, the four girls left the studio single file. Diana, at the end, just before they walked out the door, she turned around and shot Barry a wink over her shoulder, then executed a saucy little hip move. Barry did a double take. Hey, that one on the end, did she just wink at me? He asked the recording engineer. Yeah, man, the skinny chick, she was flirting with you, Barry. Well, shit, man, what do you think about that? Later, Mabel John and Barry Gordy sat in the control house and played back the track. He asked her what she thought about the girls. That Diana, Mabel said with a laugh. You'd better watch out for her, she warned Barry. She's something else, and I ain't lying, recalled Mabel John. Barry and I agreed that she was the type of kid who probably knew what she wanted and how she was going to get it. Diana demanded attention from Barry. She was always in his face saying, let's do this, and please, Barry, please, let's do that. Bruh. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention to this part right here, okay? Because I got something to say. I think I'm going to sign that kid Ross to the label, Barry told Mabel John a couple of weeks later. And the others? Oh, yeah, them too, Barry responded. I understand how he saw Diana as his way to stardom. Taking it back a little bit, he also probably saw the opportunity to hunch her too. You know, to hunch the tenacity right up out of her ass, okay? Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now, remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will be the same people that you meet on the way down.